Most people want a better life, more money, more freedom, more control. But 5 years later, same job, same habits, same problems. Meanwhile, a small group of people completely transform. Different income, different mindset, different identity. What changed? One habit, just one. And it compounds so aggressively it feels unfair. I'm about to show you exactly what it is. And by the end of this video, you'll realize you've been living on autopilot this entire time. Chapter 1, the illusion of effort. Most people think success comes from big actions. Grinding harder, working longer, pushing more. Wrong. That's not how transformation works. Psychologist B.J. Fogg from Stanford proved this. Behavior change doesn't come from intensity. It comes from consistency, tiny behaviors, repeated daily. But here's the problem, though. Most of you don't have a system. You rely on motivation, and motivation is garbage. It spikes, then disappears. You go to the gym for 3 days, then you quit. You start reading, then Netflix wins. Average people chase intensity. Elite performers build identity. James Clear calls this identity-based habits. You don't run because you want to get fit. You run because you are a runner. Small shift, massive difference. Because identity drives behavior, not the other way around. Every action you take is a vote. A vote for the type of person you become. Skip the workout? Vote for laziness. Read 10 pages? Vote for discipline. These votes stack, day after day, year after year. But here's the thing. Most people never see the results early, so they quit, and that's where they lose. Chapter 2, the invisible compounding effect. You expect results immediately. That's your first mistake. Habits don't work like that. They work like interest, slow at first, then explosive. There's a study from University College London. It takes on average 66 days to form a habit. Not 21, that's a myth. And even after 66 days, you won't see massive results yet. This is where most people fail. They don't understand delayed payoff. They plant seeds, then dig them up every week to check if they're growing. Idiot move. Elite performers don't look for results. They look for proof. Proof that they showed up. Proof that they executed. Because consistency compounds. Let's break it down. Read 10 pages a day. That's 3,650 pages a year. Roughly 12 to 15 books. Do that for 5 years. You're now operating on a completely different level than everyone around you. Same with fitness, same with money, same with skills. But here's the problem, though. Compounding works both ways. Bad habits compound too. Scrolling for 2 hours a day? That's 730 hours a year. That's 30 full days of your life. Gone. Every year. You think your life isn't changing? It is, just in the wrong direction. Chapter 3, the habit that changes everything. Here it is. The one habit, track your behavior daily. That's it. Sounds boring. Good. Because boring is what works. Most people rely on memory. I think I did okay this week. No, you didn't. You just don't remember accurately. Psychologists call this recall bias. You remember what feels good, not what's true. Elite performers don't trust memory. They track reality, calories, workouts, time, focus, money, everything. Why? Because what gets measured gets improved. Peter Drucker said that, and he was right. Tracking creates awareness. Awareness creates control. Control creates change. Let me give you an example. You say you want to be productive. Cool. Track your time for 1 week. Every hour. Write down what you actually did, not what you think you did. What you actually did, you'll hate yourself. Because the truth is brutal. But that's the point. Reality is your leverage. Without it, you're guessing, and guessing keeps you average. But here's the thing, though. Tracking alone isn't enough. You can measure everything and still do nothing. That's where the next layer comes in. Chapter 4, feedback loops. Most people act. Very few people adjust. That's why they stay stuck. Tracking gives you data, but feedback gives you direction. Top performers review their behavior weekly. What worked? What didn't? What needs to change? This is called deliberate practice. Anders Ericsson studied this for decades. The difference between amateurs and experts? Not time spent. Quality of feedback. You go to the gym, lift randomly, no plan, no tracking, no review. You stay average. Another person tracks every workout. Adjusts weight, improves form, analyzes performance, same time spent. Completely different results. One is guessing. The other is engineering progress. That's the habit. Track, review, adjust, repeat, over and over, for years. But here's the problem, though. Most of you won't do this. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. Tracking exposes your laziness, your inconsistency, your excuses, and your ego hates that. So you avoid it. You stay blind and comfortable. And average. Chapter 5, the identity shift. This is where everything clicks. You don't track to improve. You track to become someone else. Someone disciplined, someone aware, someone in control. Every time you log your behavior, you reinforce that identity. You become the type of person who pays attention. And attention is power. William James, the father of psychology, said, My experience is what I agree to attend to. Translation? Your life is what you focus on. And tracking forces focus. It eliminates autopilot. It forces intention. And over 5 years, that changes everything. Your habits change. Your standards change. Your environment changes. And eventually, your entire life changes. But here's the final problem. Even if you start tracking today, most of you will quit within a week. Because you'll make it too complicated. Apps, systems, spreadsheets, overkill. Wrong approach. Keep it simple. Pen and paper. Or a basic note app. Track 3 things. That's it. Your focus, your output, your discipline. Do it daily. No excuses. Miss a day? Fine, but don't miss twice. Because missing twice is how habits die. Now you have the system. 1 habit, track your behavior. Review weekly. Adjust constantly. Do this for 5 years and you won't recognize your life. But here's the thing. Most people hear this and do nothing. They like the idea. They don't execute. So they stay stuck. That's why I made this next video, breaking down the exact system to build unbreakable habits, even if you're lazy, distracted, and inconsistent. Watch it next, because knowing this is useless if you don't use it.